My name is Elise. I'm 16 years old and I'm a sophomore at Lower Cape May Regional High School. This is my 10th year in 4-H with the Shore Blazers 4-H Club and my first year with the Star Hollow 4-H Club. My public presentation tonight is the National Agri-Science Youth Summit. I had the opportunity to attend the National Agri-Science Youth Summit this year and had such a great time that I thought I would share my experience so that others could learn and have the same opportunity that I had. At the National Youth Summit on Agri-Science, high school students develop the skills and knowledge needed for the challenges facing agriculture, food security, and sustainability. I will share with you general information, a schedule of events, workshops, food, exploration workshops, our career day, field trips, and our community action plans. So the summit was located at the National 4-H Youth Conference Center in Chevy Chase, Maryland. It lasted from January 10th to 13th, 2019, and about 240 people attended, 190 of which were students, 50 were chaperones, and they were from 27 different states. 24 New Jersey 4-H members represented 10 counties: Burlington, Cape May, Essex, Hunterdon, Monmouth, Morris, Salem, Somerset, and Warren. The bus ride. The 24 delegates from New Jersey traveled together by bus. Since most of the delegates were from northern New Jersey, they all met up at Rutgers University. Two of us met up with the bus at Applebee's by the Commodore Barry Bridge en route to Chevy Chase, Maryland. Our schedule of events. On Thursday, when we first got to the campus, we signed up for our 6 workshop sessions that we would attend periodically throughout the summit. We attended a speech introducing what the summit would be about and had dinner following that. We were welcomed with a speech and heard from a few keynote speakers. We were given the next hour to make a group and create an idea for our community action plan. On Friday, we started the day with breakfast, attended our first 2 workshop sessions, and afterwards heard from more than 10 panelists at the career fairs. Following that, we had lunch and visited the botanical gardens. Once we got back to the campus, we had dinner and then had our 3rd and 4th workshop sessions. The next hour we spent networking. On Saturday, we began again with breakfast and then went to our 5th workshop. We were taught about exploration and did 3 interesting activities relating science to the improvement of agriculture. We went to lunch and then went to a workshop called Real Colors. We went to our 6th and final workshop, had dinner, then spent time refining our community action plan. We then went on a night view of some national monuments. On Sunday, for our last day, we had breakfast and dove right into creating a poster for our community action plan. We presented our poster at a community action share fair and heard action plans from other groups. We attended a trip with a CapNote speaker, we were distributed our box lunches, and we traveled home. Our opening ceremony. The National Agri-Science Youth Summit opening ceremony featured guest speakers Jennifer Sarantolo, President and CEO of the National 4-H Council, and the Honorable Ted McKinney, Undersecretary of Agriculture for Trade and Foreign Agriculture Affairs. I participated in 6 hands-on workshops at the Agri-Science Summit. The workshops that I attended throughout the summit were titled Be a Wildlife Biologist, It's an Outbreak, Monarchs on the Move, Food Solutions Challenge, Commodity Challenge, and the Science of Agriculture Challenge. The first workshop that I attended was called It's an Outbreak. We simulated an outbreak of a highly contagious disease among a herd of animals. Then, we simulated testing for the disease, discussed how to identify the original carrier of the disease, and how to create a biosecurity plan to minimize the risk of another outbreak in the future. We did an experiment wherein we were each given a cup of flour. One randomly selected person had a cup with flour and baking soda, which was considered the disease. Then we took a spoonful of our contents and mixed it in with 3 other people's cups. Everyone put vinegar into their cup, and the cups with baking soda started fizzing when the vinegar was put in. This was how we tested for our disease. By keeping track of the people that we mixed our flour with, we could trace the origin of the disease. We brainstormed the most effective biosecurity plans and the significance of quarantining new animals before introducing them to new environments. Another one of our workshops was called Monarchs monarchs on the move. We learned about how significant pollinators, like monarch butterflies, are to our food supply. Unfortunately, the numbers of these pollinators, particularly monarch butterflies, are decreasing. We learned about conservation practices in agriculture that increase and maintain monarch butterfly habitats. We also learned where we could plant various shrubs that added to the habitats of the butterflies, such as roadside gardens. We discussed the plants that attract the monarchs and their life cycle. Food and new friends. Meals were served at the Clover Dining Hall at the National 4-H Conference Center. We had trays and went down the lines buffet style. Various different foods and drinks were served, and we were given to an ice cream machine at every meal. Real colors. This was a personality assessment to help identify personal preferences and how to work better with others. Real Colors was an interactive session wherein each person took a test to figure out which of 4 colors their personality corresponded with. We learned how to interact more effectively with people who are different colors than ourselves. Orange people, for instance, were considered spontaneous, energetic, and charming. People who were gold were punctual, organized, and precise. People that got the color green were analytical, intuitive, and visionary. And people who got the color blue, like myself, were considered empathetic, compassionate, and cooperative. We also had exploration workshops, the first of which was called Amaze in Corn. There is a global effort to reduce the amount of plastics in landfills and to create more plastics that are biodegradable. There is a shift from using petroleum-based products to using renewable bioplastics. We did an experiment where we mixed cornstarch, corn oil, and water and microwaved it at 20-second intervals to make a biodegradable plastic. Another one of our exploration sessions was strawberry DNA. For this session, we did a fun experiment where we learned how to dissect deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA, from strawberries. We used shampoo, a sandwich Ziploc bag, a filter, a pipette, beakers, and a paper clip to fish out the DNA. We put a strawberry and shampoo in a plastic baggie and crushed the strawberry. We cut a hole in the bottom right corner of the baggie and squeezed the mixture through a filter suspended above a test tube. Then we watched as a clump of strawberry DNA slowly floated to the top of the test tube, which you can see here. Career Day with our delegates. On Friday, we participated in a career fair. Guest speakers included individuals from New Holland, America, Butler's Orchard, Farm Credit, Penn State, U.S. Botanic Garden, University of Maryland Extension Education, North American Institute, Bayer, and others. We heard from the experiences of individuals who are working in jobs relating to Agri-Science. One of my favorite trips was to the Botanic Gardens. There were various rooms with plants that were themed based on the different climates that the plants naturally grew in. The rooms had adjusted temperatures to provide plants with the optimal ability to grow, and this also affected visitors by transporting it into the different geographic regions. We saw beautiful flowers like orchids and poinsettias, enjoyed the simulation of tropical climates. I took 132 different pictures of plants at the Botanic Gardens. The gardens also had pools and a catwalk to allow visitors to get different views of the vegetation and plants. Some plants grew fruit while others had thick leaves, like succulents, to store water. The plants were grown anywhere you can imagine, from flowers in pots to tillandsia and Spanish moss hanging from the ceiling. It was really interesting to view the different areas. We also toured around Washington, D.C. We enjoyed an evening tour of some of the monuments, which were made even more interesting and effective by the snow showers. We visited the Lincoln, Korean War, FDR, Vietnam veterans, Jefferson, and MLK memorials. Took all of these pictures. I thought it was really interesting at the Korean War Veterans Memorial that wherever you walked around that group, there was always at least one soldier that was staring right at you. Community action plans. On the last day, we had the opportunity to share our community action plans. We taped our poster to a wall and walked around a room full of other community action plans that people had made over the course of the weekend. We learned what other groups plan to do to make a change in their communities. That was my group's poster. In conclusion, I shared with you general information, a schedule of events, workshops, food, exploration, career day, field trips, and our community action plans. I hope you will consider going next year. I had a great time. Everyone who went to the 2019 Agri-Science Youth Summit had a wonderful time. We learned a lot, met new friends, and had fun. My references are listed. Are there any questions?
Which was your favorite workshop?
Out of the 6 workshops that I attended, probably it's an outbreak one.
It's an outbreak?
Where we did the disease one.
That was your favorite?